funny because recently someone asked me what kind of flowers I like. I was supposed to be engaged, and I'm like, oh, flowers? And my response was, ones that are in the soil.
Yeah.
That was a very chic situation. I said, okay, one flower, just one single flower. If we're going to sacrifice something, then it is one. And our final, well, not final feature, but final feature for the second part of this program is Carl Lego, and he's a poet and professor at the University of British Columbia. His books include Growing Up Perpendicular on the Side of a Hill, View from My Mother's House, Come by Chance, Teaching to Wonder, and Sailing in a Concrete Boat, A Teacher's Journey. Let's welcome Carl Lego.
Thank you, everybody, for organizing this grand event. Thank you to all of the fellow poets. What great fun that was. I'm thinking about the little princess about the flower and whether or not that flower remains. Can you all hear me adequately so I don't need to use the microphone? I don't like microphones a whole lot. So good to be here. Lauren, lingering with your art has been a wonderful gift. And much of my lingering was actually done in Newfoundland, my home province, while my wife and I went back recently to visit family for a couple of weeks. And if you've been following the national weather forecasts, you might have heard about the snow. And I've lived more than 30 years of my life in Newfoundland, and I've not seen snow like I've seen recently. I've not seen that kind of snow since I was a kid. The snow just kept coming and coming and coming. And so on very stormy, snowy days, I was frequently lingering with images of Lauren's art and writing notes and so on for the poems that eventually then emerged over this last number of days. And so I'm going to read them 5 poems. Each of those poems has a title, which is one of the titles of one of your pieces of art, Lauren. And I begin with a quote, then I begin with a poetic rumination about being in Newfoundland, and then I go into the 5 poems. And so I'll just offer these words then to you as certainly a response to remarkable art, but also as a way of acknowledging that we are all human beings on the planet together, and we can learn to communicate with one another through the arts, through music and dance and poetry and visual art and so on. And that is always my hope. So I begin then with a few words from Song of Songs, one of the greatest poems of all time. Flowers appear on the earth. The season of singing has come. The cooing of doves is heard in our land. In Newfoundland, in the midst of the harshest winter anyone can remember, I write poetic responses to Lauren Morris's art, her vision of flowers, her explosive explorations of riotous color, wildly wanton in the March winter that marches with a stolid commitment to black and white, where it is hard to imagine color will ever return, or that flowers will remember how to bloom amidst the mountains of snow. All I know is nothing I write will be more than a glimpse, a glint of light, a slight hint, a gasp of delight, a ray of sunshine. I write these words in Corner Brook, where it is 20 degrees below zero, where the harbor is frozen, where snow is piled almost as high as the stop sign at the end of the street, as if the snow has no intention of stopping. Cold and windy for a week, the sky overcast forever, except today a ray of sunshine hints with spring's promise. No fire, but a candle flame flickering. A ray of sunshine is hungry and hopeful. Feeling good. In Lauren's feeling good, the acrylic drips like the flowers are wilting, melting like tears of wine. Instead of feeling good, Lauren's feeling good helps me to feel more attentively. It helps me seek the good. Lauren's art teaches me how feeling is good. And feeling good is the God-infused hope for becoming human. Neither representational nor abstract, feeling good is an invitation to see what is there and not there. In the vase, I see a tragic mask. One eye looks back at me. I see the art, and the art sees me. Seeing red like a bow, I am seduced. I burst with fire. Kaleidoscope. I can imagine picking up this art and twirling it so that it changes with new configurations, new reflections. The flowers are bursting out of the vase, or perhaps the vase is bursting with the flowers in a tense relationship. The more I look, the more I see. The more I see, the more I look. Kaleidoscope mesmerizes, hypnotizes, dazzles, bedazzles, enthralls, entrances, enchants, casts a spell. I am spellbound. Kaleidoscope scares me, like a vortex is swirling, a maelstrom, a whirlpool, like I am caught in a confused movement, pandemonium, whirlwind, turning into turbulent, tumultuous turmoil, no order in the disorder. If only I could learn to surrender to the kaleidoscope, to the disarray that lays out an array of sensual loveliness, like the unseen face of God. Blue Danube. This is not by the beautiful Blue Danube of Johann Strauss II, which mostly shimmers with subdued, harmonic, symphonic rhythms, a waltz in a grand Venetian castle hall. Instead, I am in New Orleans, on Bourbon Street, in April, where the hanging flower boxes are luxuriant in the air. Carnival, last, erotic, wild, dangerous, exuberant, exorbitant. One body's senses are woefully inadequate to embrace the sensuality of New Orleans or Lauren's Blue Danube. The sky might be falling. The sky might be reaching low to hold hands with the earth. I can't see beyond Blue Danube. Instead of flowing, I am transfixed. I cannot move. I can only remember. I cannot forget. Dressed in red. Can my heart hold Lauren's art? Can my heart hold Lauren's art? Or will it burst with an aortic aneurysm? Do I want my 50 shades of gray? Or 50 shades of pink? Or 50 shades of blue? Lauren reminds me there are far more than 50 shades. To create flowers like these, you must linger in the imagination of the Creator. This art burns fiercely. Instead of taming wildness, Lauren unleashes it with fire and fury. The creation is conjured in wildness. White blossoms. I've just returned from ice fishing in a Newfoundland pond. The world was almost entirely white, with some hints of gray and black in the forest. Certainly everything I saw was rendered in black and white like a newspaper. My eyes worked hard to discern the shades of white, the shades of gray and me of the winter wonderland of Newfoundland. But the more I linger with the art, the more I focus on all that is not white, especially the shades of pink and the green stalks and the hints of blue and purple. Nothing is ever white. White holds the entire spectrum of color. This is an image for falling into. To render visible the invisible is to surrender to the mystery, knowing almost everything is missed, but still refusing to miss the mystery, learning with every careful decision about the brush, the color, the stroke, how all the artful knowledge in the world is only enough to learn to trust intuition and vision and hope. How all the artful knowledge in the world is only enough to learn to trust intuition and vision and hope.